My whole school thought I was dead. Now, the way this ended up happening, honestly, puzzles my mind to this day, but somehow it ended up working out. But the way this ended up happening was insane, and honestly, I need you guys to not do this. What I'm about to tell you in this story is something you cannot do at all, and you may get arrested, you may get in trouble, and you may get, you might actually die, actually. I don't know. It's dangerous. Don't do it. But the way the story ended up happening was insane. But before I get into that, obviously, you guys, I need you guys to do two things. One, leave a like and subscribe, and join me on the Twitch live stream that I'm streaming on right now. And on top of that, I need you guys to follow my Instagram, because I am hosting a competition of who can send me the best story. And no, it won't be me saying that story, because it's not my story. I'm gonna get one of you guys who sends me the story or the best story to basically join in on a YouTube video with me telling that story in the best, most crazy way possible. So make sure you guys do follow my Instagram. It's just Bubba Streams. And like I always say, before I get into this, leave a like, subscribe, and let's get straight into this crazy story. What is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So this story takes place back when I was in grade 9. Back when I was in grade 9, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't attractive. I was in no way a W in any way. But one thing I never gained back in high school when I was in grade 9 was attention. And one thing I realized in high school is that people talk. If you guys don't understand, and you guys are just entering high school, or you guys are just leaving high school, when a rumor gets out, it gets out. Everyone hears about it no matter what. And me knowing this, I really wanted to test this theory. I always saw it in movies. I always saw it, you know, everywhere, but I never actually saw it in my life. And me being the attention whore, I don't know what's the best way to put it, but me wanting attention back in high school was impossible. But me pulling off this stunt was somehow insane and actually ended up working. You see, back when I was in high school, I remember one time me and my friend were just kind of sitting at not even a lunch table. We were sitting beside the trash cans around lunchtime, and we were just sitting together. As we were sitting down, I remember we were just talking about all the popular kids and how dumb they were. Like, for example, one would break up with their boyfriend just because they got them like the wrong color iPhone. I don't know. It was all for the dumb stuff. Popular kids are never smart. Like, as I got popular, I swear I lost like all my chromosomes. But going on, I remember as I was like kind of sitting there beside my friend at lunchtime, beside the garbage, we were just kind of just sitting there and just talking about that. And I remember my friend told me, dude, honestly, I feel like if any of us died, no one would notice. And that's when it hit me. Death. A very common thing that most people go through daily. Technically speaking, every day, at least a person dies, right? Or is it every hour? I don't know. I'm not that cool with quotes, but going on. So I remember I looked at him, I'm like, dude, what if one of us died? I remember my friend looked at me, he's like, dude, what do you want? And I'm like, dude, think about it. If one of us died, we can get the attention of almost every girl in school. My friend looked at me, he started like rolling his eyes. He's like, why do you always want to become like the cool kid in school? Like, seriously, just accept our fate, man. It's high school. I looked at him, I'm like, dude, no, it's not. Trust me, this is a big brain idea. I remember he looked at me, he's like, okay, well, like, how is this gonna work? I remember I looked at him and I planned this out. Now, this was Operation Bubba's Death, if you guys don't know. This was seriously a bad idea, and to this day, don't do it. Please don't. I advise YouTube, and I'm telling everyone on YouTube and everyone that's watching this video, don't do this. It's not allowed. Banned. Basically, me and my friend, we ended up going to my house, and we basically started planning this out. What we did was we basically went on my Instagram page that only had like 200 followers, and basically we ended up kind of just making it dark. And by dark, I don't mean we posted anything illegal, guys. I mean we literally just posted a photo of it saying offline on an Instagram post, and on top of that, an actual profile picture. Now, when this first posted, obviously it wasn't gaining any popularity. People were looking at it, but people weren't really understanding it. Like I said, it only had 200 followers, and we had over like what, 3,000 kids in our school. So for this to really go out there, one thing we really had to do was make it more insane. So I remember my friend ended up posting on his story, and basically he put the title "Rip Bubba" on it. And when people saw that, people were actually kind of concerned. I remember the first day of the weekend starting, no one recognized anything. No one commented, no one really cared. But then it's the second day when real stuff started happening. I remember I got a text message from a girl on my phone saying, hey, I know this is Bubba's phone. I just want to say I always like thanked him for like helping me back in math class. Seriously, I seriously think he's an awesome guy. I'm sorry for his loss. First off, when a person dies, don't text their phone number. That's weird. And second, I didn't even know that girl even had my number. So that scared me. Knowing that a girl texted me on my number that I didn't even get her number on is insane. But then over time, I started getting more text messages from random people. And I'm like, do people think I'm actually dead? Now, this is where it started to scare me, because I remember Monday was coming up, and Monday I had to go to school. I cannot tell my parents, oh, like I died. Oh, I can't go to school, because they wouldn't believe me, because I'm not actually dead. So I remember I ended up going up to my mom, pretending I was sick, saying, Mom, I can't go to school. I feel really sick. I just can't. And my mom looks over and says, okay, like you don't have to go to school, honey. Like we understand you. You really can't go to school. So I remember the day Monday came around, and my mom ended up calling the school saying, oh, like he's not feeling well, and you know, like he cannot make it to school. And on Monday, when people started realizing I didn't come to school, people were worried. I remember 1 minute when I looked at the Instagram page, I was gaining a follower throughout the whole school day, like every minute. People were figuring out who I am and freaking out. out. And I just keep seeing under the comment section of that Instagram post, rip Bubba, Bubba, you're so awesome, rip in the chat. And I'm starting to like be like, bro, who are these people? None of these people know who I am, but yet they're commenting this. But either way, I was gaining the attention that I wanted originally, but not in the way that I wished. That's one thing I realized. Anyways, going on though, I remember after school, I went from like having 240 followers on Instagram to having now like, I don't know, I think I gained like almost 700 out of that one day. I remember people like after school were coming up to my house and stuff, and they were actually dropping off flowers. And my mom didn't question it because my mom was like, oh, like your friends left you flowers for you being sick. I hope you're doing okay. But then more flowers came, and I'm not joking, guys. I think we got like 4 like bouquets of like just roses, but they weren't like normal roses. Like they were like dead people roses, like the ones you put in funerals. Kind of crazy. And then my mom looks at me and says, are you ready for school tomorrow? I look at my mom knowing that people think I'm dead. I can't just go to school. So I remember I ended up calling my friend saying, bro, we need to let people know I'm alive again. My friend looked at me saying, how in the world are we gonna do that? People think you're already dead. We can't just lie to the internet. Even though 80% of us lie on the internet, still, it's not good to lie on the internet. Don't lie. So remember I told him, dude, tomorrow I'm just gonna go to school. I'm gonna say I was raised from the dead and I saw heaven. I remember I ended up going to school the next day, and that was my plan. When I first walked through the door, I'm not gonna lie, I ended up seeing one of my high school crushes that I was like kind of crushing on back in my theater class days, and I walked up to her. Instantly when I saw my high school crush and I was walking up to her and everyone was looking at me, people were pulling out their phones left and right. People wanted to show everyone that I was alive. And I remember when I walked up to her, I looked at her and said, hey. She looked at me and she's like, what, Bubba? I thought you died. And I know this sounds really cringy, but I ended up looking at her and saying, yeah, but I came back from the dead for you. Everyone was looking. Some said aw, some were disgusted, some just straight up just cringed and walked away. But then my high school crush, she looked at me and said, honestly, you're absolutely dumb for doing this whole thing, but knowing it was a stunt to ask me out, honestly, fine, we can go out once. Me and her ended up actually going out that one time, and I'm not gonna lie, we did end up doing the devil's tango. But I was severely in trouble from the principal's office because people were really spreading the word, and apparently they were gonna plan an assembly about my death. Thankfully, they didn't. Anyways, guys, that is basically it for the video. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. And before you guys leave, make sure you guys do follow me on Instagram. Seriously, it means a lot, and I'm currently live on Twitch right now, so make sure you guys do join in on that as well. Now, like I always say, follow for more embarrassing stories. All right, peace out, guys. I'm gonna start off this story by saying, how is your summer going? Because I'm telling you guys right now, my summer is not the best. And one way you guys could make it better is hitting the subscribe button and also leaving a like. And on top of that, if you do want to watch these crazy stories live, just join me live on Kick streaming, telling these crazy stories face to face. But once again, one thing I'm super embarrassed about that I did back when I was in high school was faking an entire vacation. And I took things to extreme lengths to the point where I made sure no one found out the truth until today. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba, and welcome back to an insane story. So today's story takes place back when I was in high school. I remember it was my grade 11 year, and it was the summer of. And I remember 2 weeks before school ended, I remember hearing throughout the hallways and basically throughout every classroom how everyone was gonna have an awesome summer. And everyone was talking about how they were gonna go to Disneyland and how they were going to go on vacation somewhere where it's super fancy, like Hawaii or Australia. And well, me, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the only plans I had for summertime was to do the devil's tango. So obviously I wasn't having the coolest summer like everyone else. So every time the conversation was brought up about what we're doing during summer, I didn't say anything because obviously I didn't want people to think I was a loser, or you know, I just really cared about my self-image. Anyways, one time I remember I walked into my classroom that I was supposed to be in. It was towards the last final week of school, and I remember when I went in there, I sat down and I saw everyone grouped up together at a table group just talking about the cool things they were gonna do. And I remember there was this one really hot girl that was there that was talking about going to the Bahamas. Now, I've never been to the Bahamas. To be honest, I barely travel. I won't lie to you guys. Even nowadays, I barely travel. But I remember she was talking about going to the beach, laying out on the bikini in a resort, and basically talking all like about how like her daddy's rich and how they're gonna go on like a crazy vacation. And obviously they were all surrounding this girl, basically listening to her talk about her fantastic vacation she was gonna have that daddy's paying for. So I remember what I decided to do was, you know, listening to the conversation, and then that's when she saw me. Now this girl that was really popular knew about me, but she never actually like, you know, spoke to me or talked to me normally because, you know, I did the devil's tango a lot. But I remember when she saw me, you know, leaning into the table group, listening in, she ended up pointing me out saying, "Hey, Bubba, what are you doing this summer?" I'm, you know, going on vacation like everyone else, is what I said. "Oh, really? Where are you going?" I'm going to the most expensive place on earth." I remember everyone looked at me super weirdly because obviously who says that? And then that's when this girl decided to say, "Oh, so you're going to Dubai?" Yeah, I'm going to Dubai. My dad owns like a lake house down there. And afterwards, I'm going to travel to Paris. And then, yeah, I'm just going to be traveling almost all around Europe, basically. And then going to Dubai after. You know, just having a great vacation. She ended up looking at me saying, "Wait, so you're going to Paris, then Europe, then Dubai?" No. I'm first going to Dubai, then I'm going to Paris. You know, it's just, the whole trip's planned out. Me trying to sound cocky as if I knew what I was talking about. And then afterwards, I remember she said, "Oh, that's like a really expensive vacation. Who's paying for it all?" Oh, me. You know, I saved up a lot of money throughout the high school years, and I thought, you know, I'm going to go have a grand vacation, is what I said. And then that's when she said, "There's no way you saved that much money." And then that's when I ended up saying, "Well, I mean, it's a family vacation, and my dad won the lottery recently, so, you know." Just a normal thing. "I never heard about your dad winning the lottery," is what she said right after. And this is where I pulled my BS card and said, "Oh, well, like, you know, my dad owns like, you know, a major company. He's like, you know, multi-millionaire, so money's never really an issue." Which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't come from rich people, by the way. My dad's very middle class, and so is my mom. So, you know, speaking about me, you know, being rich was really weird, but at the same time, I just wanted to make it sound like I was cool enough and not sound like a loser that was gonna be at home all summer playing video games and doing the devil's tango with random matches on Tinder. She ended up looking at me and basically saying, "Oh, well, like, here, add me on Snapchat. I would love to keep track of your vacation." What is what I said? And this is where things get weird because I remember when I added her on Snapchat, my plan was to unadd her right away. But obviously, I remember me and this girl actually started talking before the school year actually ended. And I'm not gonna lie, we were pretty flirtatious and she really liked me. I have no idea why. I was hoping that it wasn't because I said my dad was a multi-millionaire company owner, but you know what? I don't know. At the same time, I got to see a free pair of cherries on my Snapchat once in a while, so I wasn't complaining. Going on though, 1 week later when the school year ended, I remember I was at home just like chilling and stuff, and I ended up getting a message. I got a message from the same girl that was picking on me a week before, telling me, you know, about how I was gonna go on vacation and stuff. And then she ended up telling me, "Oh, like, so are you packing your bags? Like, are you excited or what?" Yeah, I got my bags packed. As I'm literally pulling out the luggage from under my bed and filling it up with clothing that I'm not even gonna go travel with. I remember I ended up taking a photo and she ended up sending me a photo of her luggage that she was taking. And then she ended up messaging me saying, "There's no way you're only taking one luggage. Oh, the rest are at my dad's yacht. We're just gonna, you know, bring it from there." Which makes no sense, by the way, because why in the world would I leave my luggage at my dad's yacht? I don't know. I wasn't thinking straight. And to be honest, my dad doesn't even have a yacht. I don't know. One thing led to another though. One thing I started realizing was that a lot of people that were in that table group started spreading out the word that my dad was a millionaire. And on top of that, everyone was talking about how basically I was gonna go on vacation to like a bunch of places. And it got to the point where many people at my school thought I was gonna go on the best vacation ever. Which, I mean, I guess was the goal in some way, even though I was really doing nothing. I remember I ended up getting messages from my friends saying like, you know, when I was coming back and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it got to the point where I had to lie to my friends just to make sure that the word didn't get out that I was actually staying home all day beating my left nut. Sorry. Anyways, going on. I remember I started freaking out and stressing, and it got to the point where I remember I had to do something to make sure that people thought I was actually going on vacation. And luckily for me, one thing that this universe has is Photoshop. And luckily for me, I know how to use Photoshop. So I remember I ended up going on my computer and started downloading pictures of Paris, Dubai, you know, all these crazy things, and basically just, you know, photoshopping me in vacation. I'm not gonna lie, some photos were very unbelievable and some photos looked actually like I was on vacation. I remember over time, like in a span of like 2 months, I ended up just posting me going on vacation and stuff. And the thing that was really hard was that I would always stay home and I would never go out. I'm not joking, I didn't go out for 2 whole months. I was at home the whole June and July. It was actually really depressing and actually really sad the more I thought about it. But at the same time though, I got all my guns gold on Black Ops 2, and on top of that, I kept up with all the cool Storytime video games I enjoyed. But obviously, I remember it got to a point where things were getting pretty lonely, and I remember one time my mom came downstairs in the middle of me beating my meat saying, "Bubba, what are you doing?" "Oh, sorry mom, what's going on?" "Bubba, I'm worried about you. You don't go out. You want to like talk about it?" "No mom, I just don't feel like going out nowadays," is what I said to her. And one thing I realized was that being at home for like 2 months straight is actually really depressing. I don't know how depressed people do it. I know I can't. So I remember one time I decided to basically go for a drive. I remember I got in my car and I started driving around just to go quickly pick up some food because obviously, I don't know, I just need to get outside once in a while. But then out of nowhere, I remember I ended up getting a text message, and it was weird because I told no one not to text me because I was traveling. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But basically, I got a text message and someone sent me a photo of my car, of me driving my car, and the message was, "Wait, Bubba, are you back in town already?" "That's not me," is what I texted back. And then I ended up saying how like, you know, "Oh, like that's like an old photo it seems like," or I don't know, something. And then that's when the person said, "No, like Bubba, I swear that's you." No, it's not me. I basically did the Roderick rule where basically all I would do is deny. Obviously it didn't work out because people started, you know, messaging me as well saying like, "Oh, like people say they saw you around." But obviously at the end of the day, I remember I just kept denying it over and over to the point where, funny enough, people started believing that it wasn't actually me and it was just someone with the same car as me, which is surprising that people believe that, but hey, it's whatever. I remember the 2 months went by, and then afterwards I ended up going in front of my house one day and I ended up posting a photo of me posing in front of my house saying, "I'm back home." And I remember a lot of people ended up messaging me saying, "Hey, welcome back, like we should hang out soon, tell me about your trip." And then I remember the girl that ended up, you know, making fun of me and basically made me do this whole thing in the first place ended up messaging me saying, "Hey, like I just got back like 2 weeks ago, but like how was your trip?" "It was awesome," is what I said. And in that night, I remember she ended up wanting me to come over and talk about the trip and stuff. So I remember that same day I ended up getting in my car and going back to her place. She ended up messaging me saying how like, you know, I should take time to unpack and stuff, but I didn't care. I wanted to do the devil's tango. Like I faked going on vacation for almost 2 months. Like, come on, bro. So then I remember I ended up driving over to her place, and then when I got to her place, I remember me and her, we started like, you know, talking and stuff on the couch, and it led to me basically doing the devil's tango with her. And I remember after we did the devil's tango, she ended up leaning over towards me saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm so happy you're so adventurous." Yeah, 100%. And then that's when I realized that I was super guilty and super, well, evil for what I did. But at the same time though, I mean, at the end of the day, the devil's tango is the devil's tango. Anyways guys, that is basically it for today's story. Make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys. Okay, so I think we all know that it's never a good idea to be something you're not, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, me growing up back in high school, I've done that a lot. I did a lot of being something I wasn't, and being something you're not usually leads to a lie, and then from lying it leads to being someone that you're absolutely ain't, and then when you get exposed, well, that's where the whole world drops on you. Now today's story is absolutely insane, but before I do get into it, I do want to mention, make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already, because seriously it means a lot when you guys do. And on top of that, did I mention that I am currently live on Twitch? So make sure you guys click the link down in the description down below and watch me live. And also make sure you guys do watch the videos on the Bubba channel. I am posting videos on there of me and my Fortnite girlfriend, so go check it out and make sure you guys do go see those videos because they are funny and crazy as hell. Other than that, let's get straight into this insane story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba and welcome back to another insane story. So today's story is me literally faking being rich to get some girls. Now the way this happened was really bad, and honestly, let's just say, you know, things never turn out the way it should be. I think we all know the feeling of making a plan, and when things don't go to plan, they end up just going south, and well, things just get out of the blue. Yeah, that's what happened to me. Basically, it all starts off back when I was in high school. Back when I was in high school, I remember I had a really rich friend who was like really rich to the point where he didn't even go to the same school as me. And I remember one time when I went home, my mom came up to me and said, "Bubba, we're gonna be going to a family friend's house today. Make sure you get ready because we're gonna go after lunchtime." Obviously, I was like, sure, I'm down. So I remember I went to school that day and I basically was just walking around the school and stuff. And I remember there was was one girl specifically who had the biggest ego at school. Now, I think we all know this one chick where everyone follows her on Instagram and she's like one of the biggest ego girls ever. Like, I remember this chick had a bigger following than me on Instagram. Actually, she still has a bigger following than me. So if you guys haven't already, go follow my Instagram. I want to be better than this chick. But anyways, going on though. Yeah, so this chick had the biggest ego ever. And I remember she used to always show off and flex and, you know, basically show off her like hot rides that she used to always ride on. She would always show off, you know, all her like gym outfits that she has. Apparently like a girl needs like 20 gym outfits. I have no idea why, but going on. This chick was an ultimate L. I'll just say that much. She was an ultimate L. And me, I didn't really know much about her and I kind of just stayed away from her because, well, even though I was a lady slayer back in high school, she was the one girl that I did not want to slay. Because even though it'd be a flex to say, oh, I did the devil's tango with that girl. Yeah, no, honestly, in my mind, I feel like I'd be, well, worthless. Anyways, going on with the story, I remember basically what ended up happening was when I was walking around the school, knowing I had to go see my rich friend after school, I was kind of excited because I remember midway through the day, he ended up calling me when I was at school and he called me when he was at his school. And when I answered the phone, he told me, hey, bro, like we're going to be like going jet skiing, bro. So make sure like you get your best pants on because like we're going to go jet skiing, man. It's going to be lit because there's going to be a lot of girls at the lake. So let's go check it out. I said, damn, like I'm down. Like jet skiing? Who doesn't love jet skiing? So I remember me and him, we basically were talking about how excited we were. And then I ended up hanging up the phone. And when I did, I remember a friend walked up to me saying, yo, did I just hear you're going jet skiing? That's sick, dude. I didn't know you had a jet ski. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, yeah, like I have a jet ski. It's pretty cool, I guess. And this is where the lying started. I lied about having a jet ski. And I remember he told me, well, bro, like send me a picture of it later. Like, that's sick, dude. And he walked away. At that point, I was nervous because I was like, shoot, I don't actually have a jet ski. But I was like, whatever. The day went on. I remember after school came and I instantly went over to my house to go pick up my swim shorts. When I did, my mom drove me over to my friend's house, my really rich friend's house, to his giant mansion. When I got to his place, bro, I remember we were walking around and we were just showing off like all this cool stuff he had. He had like all the newest consoles, every single video game, giant TV, gaming setup, Razer keyboard, basically every teenage boy gamer dream back in 2016, 2017. I remember I was super jealous and I remember I would just like touch his keyboard, sit on his gaming setup and one day pray that I would get the same thing, which I do now, but still going on. I remember he ended up looking at me saying, bro, let's go to the garage. Let me show you the jet skis. I remember we went downstairs to the garage and I saw two brand new jet skis. Like these were brand new, limited edition, high quality, speed demons. Like, oh my goodness, dude. They were so beautiful. One was red and one was blue. And I remember I was like, my eyes were watering from how beautiful they were. That and it was flu season. But still, like it looked so good. And I remember me and him, we ended up taking out on the lake with his dad's vehicle. And basically when we got there, we were like taking the jet skis out and stuff. And we were riding around. And I remember as we were riding around, I had my phone in my pocket. So I remember I ended up taking a Snapchat and I basically posted on Instagram me riding on the jet ski. Yeah. Let's just say the guy that I lied to about having a jet ski ended up messaging me saying, bro, that's so sick, man. And basically my Instagram post started getting likes and stuff. And from there, I remember I had people following me left and right. And then the one person that I did not expect to follow me ended up following me. And it was the girl with the biggest ego in the school. Like she has the biggest following as well, but she has the biggest ego in the school. Actually, I think she still follows me on Instagram to this day. And honestly, like follow me on Instagram. See if you can figure out who it is. But basically she followed me and I remember I was like, oh my goodness, she follows me on Instagram now. I was freaking out. I'm like, no way, dude. She's literally following me. Oh my goodness. And I was panicking. Anyways, the day went on. We went back to his place and we ended up putting things away. And I remember I took one last picture with the jet ski to send to all my friends saying I own the jet ski so I can keep my cover. Because knowing I got the follow from the most popular girl in school was a big deal for me. So I remember I ended up going home. And when I went home, I went on Xbox and started talking to all the boys. Now, the thing is that the boys know the truth. The boys will always know the truth that I did not actually own those jet skis. And I remember they were talking to me saying, yo, bro, like you made it seem like you owned them. Like that's kind of funny. And I'm like, yeah, it's funny, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day of school happens. The next day when I went to school, I remember I was walking down the hallway and then a girl walked up to me. She said, hey, like, Bubba, that girl over there wants to talk to you. And the girl she pointed at was literally the most egotistical girl in school. The one that followed me yesterday. I was panicking. I'm like, oh, like, okay, like I'll go talk to her. So I remember I ended up going to go and talk to her. When I walked up to her, I was like, hey, like, what's going on? Acting all cool and stuff. And then she looks at me saying, oh my goodness, like I literally saw like your Instagram post yesterday about like you on a jet ski. Like that's really cool. I didn't know you owned one. Hey, like if you want, you should come to my party. Like I'm literally having one tonight. I'm having like a little get together, not really a party. So like, yeah, just come pull up. Like you're really cool and stuff too. Bruh, you're telling me all it took was for me to show off that I had some money and I get invited to a party? Rock on. So I remember I ended up going back home, getting all excited, and I ended up just basically getting ready and going to that party. When I went to that party though, I'm not gonna lie. When I went there, a lot of girls came up to me. They started coming up to me saying, oh my God, like, hey Bubba, like nice jet ski. And another girl walked up to me saying, oh my goodness, like, do you plan on like getting like a brand new car. By the way, I love my car. I don't know why she mentioned anything about my car. Like, I had a beautiful Toyota Celica, but apparently that wasn't enough. Apparently she was thinking I was gonna get some Lamborghini or something. But going on, they're all like basically talking to me, and like I had girls surrounding me almost the entire night. They're all just flirting with me, being excited that I had a jet ski, and like, you know, they're all like basically saying like, oh my goodness, like we should go out on the water sometime. I'll wear my tight bathing suit. Damn. Okay. Bad. Note to self, girls like jet skis. And then from there, I remember as like, you know, a bunch of girls were surrounding me, on the corner of my eye, a girl walked in. And no, this was no ordinary girl. And no, it was not the egotistical girl. It was the one girl I did not want at that party. And it was my rich friend's girlfriend. She walked up to me saying, oh my goodness, Bubba, like how was like jet skiing with my boyfriend yesterday? And when everyone kind of looked at her saying, wait, jet skiing with your boyfriend? And then she said, oh yeah, like my boyfriend got 2 brand new jet skis from his dad. It's like a gift. It's really cool. All the girls looked at me saying, I thought it was your jet ski. And I remember I looked at her and she looked at me and she's like, Bubba, did you lie about owning those jet skis? I ended up looking around. I'm like, oh, look at the time. Like I gotta go. Like it's been a great party. And after that, all those girls looked at me saying, oh my God, like, why would you lie about that? You're so weird. And then the egotistical girl walked up to me saying, yeah, you know what? You probably should leave. We don't really like liars in here. Yeah, basically I got exposed. Okay, chat. I got exposed by that one girl, bro. That one girl had to come into that party at the wrong time. To this day, I regret posting me riding those jet skis, but at the same time though, I don't know, I still had a good time. And I'm not gonna lie, I talked to my rich friend afterward and he understood. He said like, you know, he understands the pressure of showing off what you got and stuff. And overall, that's basically it for today's story. So make sure you guys do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Seriously, it means a lot when you guys do. And remember, be your best self. Don't be anyone else. And other than that, like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. All right, peace out, guys.
I'm still on top of the world. Devils taking with your mother. Of course, let's go. Should I make it a story? Let's click record. Got that TikTok with 2 mil hit different with some more. She said she loved